As of making this video, I've got 427 subscribers, and in honor of almost reaching that 500 threshold, which is the first threshold for any type of YouTube monetization, like adding memberships, I wanted to make this video to talk about all the ways that YouTube has changed my life with under 500 subscribers. I hope this inspires you if you're thinking about opening a YouTube channel, and it also is a way to think about all the other effects that YouTube can have other than making money. Hi, I'm Yuks. I make videos about travel, self-development, and career, all tied to trying new things as an adult and finding your own path in life. If you're also in your season of self-growth, then hit subscribe and join the journey. When I started YouTube, I was not actually doing it for the idea of even starting a channel. I really wanted to document my adult gap year. At this point, I had just gotten laid off from my job, and it was really important for me to make the most of this mini retirement that I was about to start. One of the things I noticed with people who were on a mini retirement is that they often said how fast time flies. They were 6 months in, almost a year in, and time was going way too fast. And what I wanted to make sure I did was account for exactly how I was spending that time. And so because of that, I made sure to start documenting all the adventures I was going on, where I was traveling, and what I was learning. So that when I looked back, I could say, did I use my time well and learn from it? The second reason I was really impacted by YouTube was that initially, after seeing all of the different ways that I was spending my time, I could also look back and think, well, is there something else I want to do with my life? I started YouTube when I was thinking of other ways that I could find an alternative path in my life. I didn't want to do a traditional 9-to-5 as I'd been doing for the last however many years, which meant, well, looking at some inspiration of how other people were living their lives. And I found so much inspiration on YouTube because it's a self-selecting crowd. The people who are choosing to be making videos on YouTube, well, they're already doing something outside the norm of a 9-to-5 job. Being on YouTube will expose you to different careers people have in a much more greater variety than you would have if you were just looking for inspiration in the real world, because you've just got all sorts of different people on the platform who are being featured and who are making it. And it's really inspiring to see. So that's how YouTube has changed my career, in that I have all sorts of different aspirations than I had in the past. In the past, I was working a product job. I only had product leaders to aspire to, and people who were in the finance industry and then later on in the startup world, which was very cool, but I didn't feel like it really called to me. I felt like I wanted to make something of my own, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a software product or a service. I wasn't sure yet. And now I see another way to be an entrepreneur, a founder, but doing something slightly different, which for here is building a channel. Third, it's just really changed my public speaking. I'm thinking about how to make things more useful to you as the viewer, and that's flipping the way that I'm speaking. I've learned a lot of new skills doing this, including how to edit, how to color grade, and now how to speak in a way that's engaging and gives useful information. I've also learned so much about filming, and one of the reasons why I think this is a really interesting field to go into is because the way you know if a field is right for you is if you are looking up how to improve even when you don't have to. And I'm looking up videos every day about how to improve my retention rate, how to color grade, how to edit better, and basically how to pick a good idea to talk about. These are all things that I'm spending time doing outside of the time I have to spend. When I was working as a product manager, I was looking up how to be a better product manager, but not to the extent that I'm looking up how to be a better YouTuber now. I'm spending so much time on YouTube just learning about YouTube and looking at my own metrics and really thinking about how I can get better. If you have any interest, and if you find yourself regularly looking up if you look at your watch history and you notice that there's a pattern in the types of videos you're watching, and those videos are actually teaching you how to be better at a specific subject, maybe that's telling you something that you actually have a passion there. At some point, you're going to be older and people might not know your story anymore. You might have grandkids who don't really know all the cool things that you've done. They don't really know you. They only know you as it relates to them. Having these videos around is actually really cool. My little brothers have seen me edit videos and ask me, where are you? And I say, well, I'm in France. I'm in London. And they say, oh, cool. They actually get to see this part of my life, and it's an easy way for them to visualize where I've been when I haven't lived and been around home. Making videos is also a really good way to connect with friends and keep in touch with friends, because I have these memories as I'm editing videos, and I'm very slow at editing, so I might be editing a video several months after a trip has happened. My friend will pop into my head because I'm just making videos about our trip. So I'll go ahead and I'll message them saying, remember this surf trip that we went on, remember this ice skating camp we went to. And it's just such a good reminder of the past, and I get to relive that memory, and it makes me think about my friend and reminds me what were the great moments with that friend. I have a reason to go back and say, hey, this is the video, remember all these fun times, and it keeps our memories alive. I've learned that the audience nowadays really rewards valuable information. The videos that have been doing the best for me are videos where I just share what I've done, how much it costs, practical details, some info about my own job situation that hopefully is relatable to other people who are also going through layoffs. And people are looking for ways to create their own stability, create their own parachute. Inspiration is something that I was looking for when I started looking at other people's videos, and it's something that the world needs more of. Right now, I feel like the world is so saturated with apps and services and even content, but content is something where I don't mind having a lot of different viewpoints on, because I like having all of these different opinions coming to me. When I first started out, I didn't really know what my audience was. I just knew I wanted to make videos that were helpful to people. So I focused on things that I was searching at the time, which was prices and what experiences are like and logistics. I cared a lot about travel logistics because I was traveling. So when you first start out, you can share what's useful for yourself, things that you wish you'd known, and try to fill in any kind of search gap that you've been noticing. Try to make a video on something that you care about and that you genuinely think can help people. My first video was about my hair. Second tip is to switch up your goals every 3 to 6 months, just so that you feel like you're making progress. I recommend setting goals to gamify YouTube. Initially, your goal might be to post every week for 3 months. And then at 3 months, maybe your goal becomes setting a certain number of watch hours every week to make sure that you're not just focusing on putting out videos consistently, but that your videos are consistently getting better by increasing that number of watch hours. And the second thing you might work on after that is increasing retention in the first 30 seconds of your video and getting it up from whatever your number is, getting it closer to 60%, which is what the top creators aim for when it comes to retention. So that way you're making sure you're not only improving, but you have these little goalposts that are moving every 3 to 6 months so that you don't get bored and lose motivation on YouTube. And who knows, maybe that means that in 6 months, you'll be making a video called How YouTube Changed My Life with under 500 subscribers. Well, I hope this was helpful. I hope this inspired you. And if it did, let me know. All right, what do you think? Do you think you're going to start a channel? Where are you at in your journey? If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out the video of everything I learned in my last 365 days of posting on YouTube, where I share everything I wish I knew when I first started.